Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Signing with Omar. Today we're going to do something a little different. Today we're going to go over 30 plus uncommon ASL signs. Are you ready? Let's get started. The first sign we're going to go over is to adhere. And basically that's to follow. This is it from the side. Adhere. The next sign we're going to do is amendment. Simply take the left hand, extend it up, and take the right hand, bend it, and it cuffs the left hand twice. Amendment. This is it from the side. Amendment. The next sign we're going to do is bout. Not about, but bout. B-O-U-T. Simply extend the left hand, one up, and the right fist strikes the left hand. Bout. The next sign we're going to do is custody, and that's done two ways. The first is to form the sign half, but to strike the chest twice. The next way to do it is to do the same sign as host. So let's go over those two signs again. The first is, and the second, that is the sign for custody. The next sign we're going to do is cultural revolution. That has three different parts to it. So let me show you first. The first part was culture. Then secondly, what we did was to modify or change. And the last part of that sign is we rebelled or revolt. So let me show you that again. Also, make sure that last part you're showing rebellion in your face. That is the sign for cultural revolution. Now, the next sign we're going to do is census. And we know when we're doing census, there's counting involved, and usually counting people. So, census is simply people counting. That's the sign for census. The next sign we're going to do is compulsory. And it's the same sign as required. So for the sign for compulsory, required. Let me turn on the angle so you can see that. That's the sign for compulsory. The next sign we're doing is definitive. That is the same sign as exact. Definitive. The next sign we're going to do is evolve. I've seen this done a few ways. The first way I've seen it is initialize E, evolve. Almost like the sign change, but initialize E, evolve. And the second way I've seen it was to modify, match, or accommodate. That's the same sign as accommodate. So let's go over those again. All right, for evolve, the first, initialize E. And the second way to do it is to modify, match, or accommodate. The next one we're going to go over is enunciation. And that's basically the speech is clear. Now, while we're here, there's another sign I really like, and that's to articulate or articulation. And it's pretty similar. Watch. For articulate, sign articulate, it's three different parts. It's speech, it's clear, and they're smart. So let me do that again. That's the sign for articulation. Now the next sign we're going to go over is fan. Simply make a 4, extend it down, and it's going to go across the eyebrow. And watch my face. Now that's not the fan where the wind comes on you. That's fan as if I'm a sports fan, or I'm a Winter Olympics fan, or, whatever you're really gung-ho about. You use that as fan. The next sign we're going to do is hindsight. Now there's a few ways to do this. The first way, let me show you. You're actually going to take a look back. When you're looking back, I should have done this. However, I did this. So basically, you're looking back. I should have do. However, I did. All right, there's another way to also do this sign, and that's to say, clear, understand. It's like the idiom 2020. When looking back, it's clear and obvious now. So it's clear, understand. The next sign we're going to do is idiosyncrasies. And that's someone who has tendencies. So you do the sign for tendencies and you give ownership to whatever it is. Tendencies, hers or his or its. That's the sign for tendencies or idiosyncrasies. The next sign is ideology, and there's two ways of doing that. One way is belief system. I'll do that again. Belief system. And the other way is mindset. So you have these two, belief system or mindset. All right, the next sign we're going to go over is instinct. Now that's two signs, but you do them at the same time. One is no and the other one is gut. So let me show you. That's the sign for instinct. The next sign we're going to go over is infrastructure. There's a few ways of doing that. The first, let me show you, is system build or system structure. The other way is foundation system. So you have system build and the other way is foundation system. That's the sign for infrastructure. Now the sign justice. Basically, you bend the hand of the left, you bend the hand of the right, but notice the right is lower, and then you bring it up to its equal. So this is the sign for justice. Now, while I'm here, there's another sign that's similar I want to go over, and that's the word or the sign treating, T-R-E-A-T-I-N-G. And I'm going to use it in a positive way and a negative way. So if you're treating someone negative, basically, you're looking down on them. See how I'm no longer equal? I brought it down, and then I'm looking down on them. Now, if you're doing it in a positive way, just say they're having good behavior. So, good behavior, you're giving them a reward, gift. These are different ways of doing the sign treating. Okay, for the sign loyal, it's the same sign as character, but you're doing an initialized L. You're doing an arc over the chest, the left chest, and then you're hitting up against it. So let me show you. That's the sign for loyal. Okay, the next sign we're going to go over is litigation. Basically, that's legal procedure or process. I'll do that again. The next sign we're going to do is mitigation or mitigate. A little bit lengthy, but I'll break it down for you. So when you're mitigating something, you're discussing back and forth, and the differences that separate you begin to decrease, and then you come to an agreement. So let me show you what that is in real time. That is mitigate. You're discussing back and forth, your differences are being reduced, and then you come to an agreement. There's another way, just in case there's a lot of bickering. If you want to really become descriptive with the deaf, you're bickering back and forth, and then you agree. So that's another way you can do mitigate. Okay, the next sign we're going to go over is matter, M-A-T-T-E-R. So basically you make O's, and you just kind of take the fingers and rub them against one another. You can also add this to it. But this is the sign for matter. The next sign is nuisance. And the general way of doing nuisance is, watch my expression. Okay, basically you take the 5-hand, bend the middle finger, put it at the edge of the eyebrow and go forward. Now you can sign nuisance another way. You can actually sign it showing the behavior that's annoying you. Maybe for example, you're working and someone keeps coming over and over and over again. They're bugging you. you can sign that, and the deaf person who's watching you, they can see that they're being a nuisance. Or maybe sometimes, just say you're at home and your kid keeps asking you question after question after question. The deaf person can tell, okay, they're being a nuisance. So you can do it that way. You can demonstrate nuisance by the behavior, or you can use a generic sign, the general sign. Okay, the next sign is natural realm, basically. And what I just did was natural and world. That's the sign for natural realm. Oath. It's a very simple sign. The left hand goes up and the right hand goes down as if it's placed on a Bible. This is the sign for oath. Probation. To sign probation, you take the left hand as if it's going to do the sign table. Then these become your eyes, the V of the right hand, and it's looking as if it's monitoring you. That's the sign for probation. Public domain is government related. So that's how you sign public domain. Government related. Rubric, which is basically R-U-B-R-I-C. I hope I spelled it correctly. And that's usually some type of a syllabus. And what you can do is, for rubric, you can describe in the list or describe schedule. Either or. That is the sign for rubric. Ratify. That's basically you're making a modification and possibly adding something to it. So for ratify, what I would do is, that's the sign for ratify. Okay, the next sign is survey. And we know with the survey, you're asking questions. So simply question, question, question. You're asking questions. Now there's another sign I want to go over, which is interrogate or interrogation. You're asking questions, but they're a lot more forceful. So watch my face when I do interrogation. Different from survey. Survey is pretty gentle, but interrogations, facial expression is very different, and the intensity of the sign is very strong in comparison to survey. So this is the sign for survey and interrogation. Okay, the next sign we're going to go over is statutory, which is state-related. State-related. Now, usually when we're saying statutory, most of the times when I hear that word being used, we're talking about people who are under 18. So you can sign this if it's according to the context of the conversation. 18 under. Age 18 under. So you can use either or for state-related or 18 under. Those two signs you can use for statutory. Okay, the next word we're going to go over is subscribe. Basically, you're following someone. So this is the sign for subscribe or adhere. Subscribe. Now let's go over subscription, which is different. Subscription usually something you have coming to you monthly or something like that. So that's the same as collecting like a government check. This is it from the front. So for subscribe, you're following. But if you have a subscription, it's like you're collecting. All right, the next sign we're going to go over is stereotype. I'm going to give you the generic sign for that, which is to label. But you can do it in a different way. If it's depending on the context of the conversation, just say someone says they all have the same taste. You can just say taste same, or same taste. Or maybe they're saying they all think alike. Think same. It's a negative connotation, so you want to actually add the facial expression to they all think the same. Or they all have the same taste. Or These are different ways of signing stereotype. All right, the next word we're going to go over is trial and error. The proper way, I think, to sign this, and my tutor showed me this, is to make an O, and the tips of the finger touches the nose, and then it opens and the palm of the hand touches the nose. And you do that a few times, and you go forward. Let me show you from the side. Trial and error. Trial and error. Now there's another way of doing trial and error, and that's okay, we'll see if it's an error. See error, or see if it's wrong. See error. So you can do trial and error this way or trial and error that way. And the next sign we're going to do is trait, which is also another sign for, or another way of saying tendencies. Trait theirs. It's the same sign that we use for idiosyncrasies, tendencies. These are all my 30 plus uncommon ASL signs. I hope you enjoyed them. This is the first video of a series of videos that I'm going to be making on uncommon ASL signs. Thank you for watching this video on my YouTube channel, Signing with Omar. Don't forget to hit the like button and also subscribe. Stay tuned for my next video and learn more about American Sign Language.